Good afternoon. And welcome to the Town of Islip October Board Meeting, Italian Heritage. Yay. Thank you. I would ask Councilman Lorenzo to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance on this Italian History Month.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Throughout the year, our town has the distinct honor of recognizing extraordinary members of our community. And this month is no different, and we're very, very proud to be honoring those of Italian heritage. Good old Christopher Columbus. We are honored to have 7 such members of our community here with us today, and I will begin with my honorees. They are Lorraine and Michael Pace, and if you would please come forward. Lorraine has been a long-time resident of Brentwood, an active resident of the district for nearly 50 years now. She moved in when she was like going to kindergarten. As well as a proud parent of 2 Brentwood graduates who both went on to work in education. Her advocacy for students has left a remarkable impact on our community. As the president of the Brentwood Green Machine, a legendary high school band really, she was president of the Parents Association for 17 years. Her dedication has remained steadfast even though her kids have long graduated. From multiple PTA president and vice president roles and her vice presidency of the Brentwood Board of Education, to her work as a member of the Brentwood Historical Society and to the scouting community, Lorraine has consistently proven herself to be ambitious in working towards a better Brentwood. Not to mention her years as a volunteer work with both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts as a troop leader. Much like Lorraine, Michael, did he have a choice, has been a pillar of our community for years. He has continually contributed through his contributions to projects with the Green Machine and the Lions Club, as well as volunteering his time to work with our seniors in the community. Michael is also an active member of both the Knights of Columbus and the Brentwood Historical Society, both of which highlight his commitment to charity and service. He is known for his generosity and dedication in making a lasting difference in our community. Together, they've both already received numerous accolades and awards for all of their tireless work. And today, we would like everyone to honor them once again as truly, truly outstanding and admirable and dedicated members of our community. Lorraine, Michael, congratulations. And wait, the best. Cannolis.
Oh, that's my favorite. My favorite. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You guys center. You guys on the bottom row. Center.
Congratulations. And next, the next honorees are brothers, Louis and James Bruno, and I'd like to ask Councilman Jim O'Connor to please come forward for the presentation.
Thank you, Supervisor. James and Louis, if you'll join me. Both born and raised in Islip, James and Louis Bruno graduated from East Islip High School and have since stayed active in the community, owning and operating the historic Albrecht, Bruno, and O'Shea Funeral Home in East Islip. Upon the retirement of Charles O'Shea, the original founder, Louis Bruno and Louis Guerra purchased the funeral homes to ensure the continued service of a local, family-owned funeral home, and in 2007, they partnered with James Bruno and purchased Albrecht Funeral Home. Louis has remained committed to serving the community that he has thrived in through volunteer activity with organizations including the Children of Hope Foundation and the Chamber of Commerce, as well as serving as the president of the Nassau-Suffolk Funeral Directors Association. James worked as a funeral director in the community for 15 years before joining his brother Louis at Charles J. O'Shea Funeral Homes. He is the former president of the Islip Rotary and a board member of For the Kids Foundation, as well as a member of the Sons of Italy and many other local organizations. James has remained passionate about supporting his community in a variety of ways, mentoring the youth of East Islip as a member of the East Islip Dowling School Business Partnerships Career Development Program. Both brothers have shown endless support to our community and have remained inspiring examples of family-owned local business in our town. Please join me in recognizing James and Louis Bruno. You have to do that.
An Irishman can't hand
No,
out
no,
cannolis.
no. Don't touch the Irishman, don't touch the cannoli.
Our next honoree is no stranger. He is Bruce Fabrizio, who is the president of the Brentwood Chamber of Commerce, and presenting that award will be Councilman Jorge Guadron.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. Good afternoon, everyone. Bruce is a... Come on up. We're not going to charge you. Bruce is a proud second-generation Italian-American whose life and work truly embody the values of hard work and community. As a certified public accountant and the current president of the Brentwood Chamber of Commerce, Bruce has worked tirelessly to uplift local businesses and expand opportunities for others. Under his leadership, the Chamber has hosted business expos, raised scholarship funds for students, and helped revitalize beloved community spaces like Rose Memorial Park. And even beyond his professional success, Bruce's greatest impact shines through his decades of coaching and mentorship on the soccer field. For more than 40 years, he's built and guided soccer programs across Long Island, helping young athletes grow as both players and as people. Through his work with Janice's World, he continues to bring the joy of soccer to students with different abilities, where every child is valued and celebrated. His compassion, leadership, and unwavering commitment to Brentwood have made a lasting difference. Please join me in recognizing Mr. Bruce Fabrizio.
And now to speak about our next honoree, Greg Giannotti, or Gio, I'd ask Councilman John Lorenzo to please come forward.
Thank you, Supervisor. Gio, come on.
Come on up.
If anyone's a sports fan, you know who this guy is. Greg Gio Giannotti is a Long Island native, now prolific as an American sports talk broadcaster and co-host of WFAN's morning show, Boomer and Gio. His passion for sports and journalism, as well as his own hard work in the field, have earned him his spot as a beloved host, as well as numerous experiences as board op and producer in other programs. Through this, Greg continues to give back to the community, taking part in charitable initiatives and frequently using his platform to highlight causes that benefit the community, such as the Boomer Esiason Foundation and the Michael Murphy Navy SEAL Museum. He's a strong advocate for veterans and first responders, as well as a consistent contributor to fundraisers across the community. For his years of generosity and his commitment to speaking out about causes in our community, please join me in recognizing Greg Gio Giannotti.
Great to see you. Great. Just give me the cannoli so I
Oh,
can.
yeah,
I didn't forget. I saw everybody else get them.
Our final honoree, again, is someone who was no stranger to our town and all he's done in our community for so many years, and that would be Guy Leggio, who is going to be honored and presented the award by Councilman Nick Elway.
Come on up, Guy. A third-generation Bayshore resident, Guy Leggio is a true example of everyday heroism in our community. Guy is a U.S. Navy veteran who served for several years before becoming a bricklayer with Local 1 Bricklayers Union, where he worked for over 40 years, managing nearly 100 employees and mentoring young tradespeople. Since 2008, he has been a Bayshore Board of Education trustee, serving as the president 3 separate times, and earning the Everett R. Dyer Award in 2023, the highest honor from New York State School Board associations. His generosity is shown through multiple community projects, including the 9/11 Memorial Garden he built and the cafetorium he secured for Universal Pre-K. His tenacity and willingness to teach and advocate has also led him to coaching the East Islip High School varsity wrestling team, where he guided the team into winning 2 county championships and a state runner-up finish. He also founded East Islip Kid Wrestling and was inducted to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Guy continues to serve our town and our country as a 39-year volunteer firefighter with the Bayshore Fire Department, even earning roles as captain of the Pennaquot Hose Company and fire department trustee. Guy's work throughout our community has been broad and impactful, reaching multiple generations in many different ways. He has served as an inspiration and an asset today. We'd like to honor his achievement. Please join me in recognizing Guy Leggio.
And one more time for all of our honorees today. They really do us proud. And enjoy your cannolis. I'm sure you're going to share them. Okay, and we will just move on now, if I can find my way, to the Brentwood Fire Department Wanderers Band, who has really done us proud. We are so fortunate indeed to have so many dedicated and civic-minded individuals who devote their time to improve, serve, and keep our town. We'd like to take this opportunity to pay tribute to the Brentwood Fire Department Wanderers Band, who took first place in the Continental Band category at the New York State Championship Parade. Thank you to the members who have participated and practiced hard to represent our town. We appreciate your dedication and efforts, and please come forward. Some announcements before we start today's meeting. This month, October, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and all through October, South Shore communities have been in pink to help raise awareness. And today, we held our employee pink out, where Town of Islip employees wore pink to show their support and raise awareness. In the U.S. alone, about 1 in 8 now women and a growing number of men are affected by this disease. In fact, there was an article in Newsday today. We ask that you please schedule your mammogram, and remember, early detection is the best prevention. And lastly, it's that time of the year again for Apple Fest, our very beloved festival, returns to Islip Grange this year for its 45th year. That will be on Saturday, October 25th, this Saturday. And please join us for a day of family fun with craft vendors, amusement rides, a petting zoo, musical entertainment, just a wonderful opportunity for the community to come together as a family. Free parking, free admission. Also, there's a scarecrow contest, so if you go to the website, you can get the details and you may want to participate. So we look forward to seeing everyone at the festival this weekend. It's going to be beautiful. And to please check out the rest of the activities coming up in our newsletter. So again, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, particularly when you turn the podium.
The meeting this afternoon, we have 2 scheduled public hearings. I'd ask the clerk to please read the first hearing notice.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. Item number 1, to consider amending Chapter 36 and Chapter 68 of the Islip Town Code.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion?
I make a motion to close the public hearing and offer the resolution for its adoption.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Madam Clerk, if you would please read the second hearing notice.
Item number 2, to consider amending the Uniform Traffic Code of the Town of Islip.
Again, are there any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Make a motion to close the public hearing and offer the resolution for its adoption.
We have a motion and a second. Anyone else? Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have been, before we go to the public speaking portion of today's meeting, the town attorney has requested that we meet in executive session to discuss a litigation matter. So I have a motion to adjourn into executive session. Motion by Councilman O'Connor. I'll second that motion. All those in favor? Opposed? We will convene executive session, and we will be back. I just can't move these chairs. Okay, thank you all for your patience. I'd make a motion to end the executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman McElroy. All those in favor? Opposed? We are back. Okay, we have a couple of cards. People have signed up to address the board before we get to the agenda. The first speaker, Pat Montanino, and just to remind everybody, you have 3 minutes, not a question and answer, but just to bring forward your comments or concerns. Pat Montanino. Do you want to come up or not? Pat Montanino is the first speaker. If you wish to come up, please do. Otherwise, I'll go to the next card. You may begin.
When everybody has the paper. Should have one. Here you have the real crime here is somehow a goon squad was sent to my home. I guess when you speak the real truth, they get sent to your home because it comes out to be that the town board meeting feels you could be a little crazy. So it was $500,000 in salary of police departments and WellCare people coming. They said that I made a threat, but they had no proof. But they wanted to keep coming and coming and coming. Okay? But we all know where it came from. Okay? So if you stand up here and speak the truth, they send people to your home to kind of tell you you're crazy. Well, they are not allowed on my property, so the plan didn't work. Then my other issue is someone came to my home to give me a letter that the ambulance exchange is telling people, mailing it to their homes, it's a lifetime signature authorization form. They want your social security number, they want your Medicare number, they want your date of birth. Why don't you just hand them your checkbook? Are you out of your mind to have people do this? Then my last thing is businesses, especially in West Islip, are being threatened by town workers that the taxpayers pay their salaries, but I don't think they pay them to go to businesses to threaten them that they need to join the Chamber of Commerce in West Islip. It'll go a long way, and it will protect them. And it just so happens they want them to join the Chamber of Commerce and share the work with the printer across the street from them, because they have a printing business. And unbelievably so, the printing business that's threatening them is the one that you own, Ms. Carpenter. Is that how it works? Businesses are now being threatened. Shame on you.
Thank you, Mrs. Montanino. Next speaker, Tom Connors.
Good afternoon. I'm here today to talk again about the ongoing flooding problem coming from the drain in front of my house on Eaton Lane in West Islip. The issue has been persistent, and frankly, it has reached a point where it is no longer just what is referred to by the town as nuisance flooding. It is a serious public health and safety hazard, as well as a serious quality of life issue. For years, water has been consistently flowing out of this drain. As a result, the street and my personal property, including my driveway and grass, are covered in a disgusting, unsanitary mess of debris and mud, to the point where I have dead crabs on my property that I now pick up at the end of the day that are coming up from the drain. This is not just about a little bit of standing water. This is about my wife not being able to take our children for a walk on our own street because the path out of our home with a stroller is unsafe and covered in filth that is inches deep in disgusting water. Our kids should not have to navigate a flooded, garbage-strewn driveway and street just to play outside. My 75-year-old mother cannot come and visit her grandchildren without me having to hold on to her and walk her through inches of water just to get to my front door. We have seen temporary solutions attempted, including the use of a pump system. Let me be clear, the pump is not a permanent fix, nor the only fix that needs to be implemented. It is a temporary bandage on a systemic issue. We must be done with stopgap measures. We need a long-term structural solution to this problem, not a cycle of patching and reappearing issues. The drainage system must be fixed. The constant standing water and debris are unsanitary, a breeding ground for pests, and a blight on our community. This is a public health matter that affects not just my family, but our entire neighborhood. We have a right to a safe and clean environment. My question is simple and requires a direct answer. What is the long-term solution you will implement, and when will it be fixed? We need more than promises. We need answers and a clear timeline for when this problem will be resolved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, Brian Comerford.
I'll be short and sweet because I live across the street from Tom. I know you guys are doing construction down there. We appreciate whatever you're doing, but you're redoing the dock at the end of the block, and what we have very simply is you have the drains. The drains are attached to a pipe in the middle of the street. They don't go into the canals. From the main drain that they're attached to, the pipe goes to a pit at the end of the block. From there, the water is pumped over. So the drains aren't attached to the canals. So it's a separate enclosed system. There's a pump at the end of the block that's supposed to pump. You guys took the pump, well, the contractor took the pump out, knowing that it's going to flood. So now we are underwater constantly. I know they're saying there's a pump coming. We don't get any answers as to when it's coming. We call the town all the time. Oh, the pump's not there yet, but we know it's, we know it's going to be brought in. When? How do you start a project like that? The project started in, I think it was the mid to beginning of April it started. So it started in April, yet you still don't have the new pump to put into the system. So the streets are just disgusting. I mean, it's like Tom said, the mud is an inch thick. You're driving around, you're driving through salt water, the brake lines on the cars are just getting decimated, and it's not a minor inconvenience. We all understand that if you're going to have a hurricane or you're going to have a nor'easter, like the last nor'easter we had, it's understood. We're going to get wet. We know that. But on a daily basis, to have puddles that are knee-deep, it's just wrong. Something has to be done. So, appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. Next speaker, Jim Schlau. Jim Schlau.
Present in there. Do you know there's a present in there? Did somebody leave something? Is that for me, that thing? All right, here's some pictures. These are things that got resolved. Thank traffic and the deputy commissioner and the rule you set up where they can't park on our sidewalks anymore. Good job. Unbelievable. What a difference. And I want to bring up the immigration thing because, you know, all these kids coming in here complaining about the migrants are crazy. Remember, I got drafted. The illegal immigrants, they don't get drafted. I joined the Navy voluntarily. I got an honorable discharge, okay? I'm 100% Trump. He's doing a great job. I don't agree with his environmental policies, but you can't have everything. And if you watch Speaker Johnson, the Republicans are trying to stop this money for health care for illegal immigrants. Let me tell you something. I don't know if I have enough time. I had a bad tumor in 1984, and I was between jobs. And I went to see a surgeon. I had no health care. So I go in there, he looks at it, and he says, what do you got, Blue Cross Blue Shield? I said, I don't have anything. He says, pull your pants up and get out of the office. Some friends of mine thought that was mean. I didn't. I says, hold it. I got some money in the bank. I was saving up to get a house back then when the houses were $25,000. So I paid for that. I paid for that operation out of my pocket. All this free stuff. Everybody's getting these entitlements. Trump's trying to do away with that, okay? And if you want to update another code, you got a house, then you have a fence. You know what I'm saying? Then you got this thing that they call the right-of-way. So they're not parking on the sidewalks now because public safety is doing something about it. Great job, guys. Why not make that a rule that you can't park on the right-of-way? Because you can't put your fence to the curb, but they got cars up there on the lawn. And that's what's overcrowding these houses. These houses are packed. I've said it 1,000 times. I got a single-family house. Who knows how many people are in these houses, especially his area. His area is a mess west of 111. You know it. We don't live like that in this country. We don't. I've been here. I'm 72 years old. I never saw such a disgrace as what's become of this neighborhood. So maybe you could do that, get them off there. Maybe the houses become less crowded. But I'll tell you, this is grand larceny, what these people are getting away with living in these houses crowded like that. That's it. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, Leo Carrasca. Leo Carrasca. Okay, Leo. Andy Cross.
once again, I'm here about the NYS real property tax law line on my tax bill. When the tax went up 41% in 1 year, you said it went up to 41% due to the price of housing going down. This year, with the price of housing going up weekly and the tax going up 103%, why? Who's responsible for this? 150% in 2 years, close to 150%. If no one is responsible for this, who put it in the budget? This is a disgrace and proves that you're not representing the town taxpayers of Islip Town. Is it true that certain town board members took $100,000 from a landlord or company and then approved their building permits? How does this represent the taxpayers of Islip when they're going to have to pay for this? You should have not voted on the permits or anything for the building if you accepted money from the landlord. How does that affect the pot shop vote? And are you taking money from them to vote for them? How does that affect the vote from the Sayville apartment house? Did take away money from the company? Are you not going to vote for that because you took money from them? Or did you take money from them? The Attorney General should be looking into this. Is there any way you could deny these allegations? Maybe in the next town board meeting, you can set aside maybe 10 minutes to talk about this? And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Cross. Next speaker, Kathy Manzioni.
Hi, everyone. I also live on Eaton Lane. I know you heard quite a bit from everyone, but I've lived there for 31 years, and I've been going through this for many years. I've written to, Angie, I've written to Michael, I've written to the governor, even when Cuomo was in. And it's a big issue, but recently they put the bulkhead, they fixed the bulkhead, which, thank you. I was very excited about it. But the situation has not improved, unfortunately, because there's so many underlying areas that need to be, the drainage system, as Brian had said, and Tom has said, there's so many issues that we need to get done here. I raised my house. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, some through insurance, but a lot personally, to make my house more valuable. Raised it up, and now I can't get out of my house. During a storm, I can't get out of my house at all. Even though it doesn't affect my house, it's up here, I can't get out of my house. Now it's the front of my house. My husband can't do, he's disabled, he can't do the things I can. So I'm out there shoveling mud, and using brooms and trying to get the mud away from my house. I was very excited because as I was the other day after the storm, so we kind of expected during a storm, after the storm I went out and there was piled like this, and I pushed it out into the street and I saw the street cleaner come. I was very excited, and he came by twice actually, and I finally got all the mud out, so I was excited. I says, okay, finally I don't have mud in front of my house. Well, it's back. And there's been water in front of my house. I could send you the pictures, the recent pictures, but every day I can't, taking my dog out for a walk, there's mud all over. I can't take my grandson out because to get through the mud, I want you to come down. Any one of you, please come down the street. There's no reason for it to be flooded right now. I know they're trying to replace the pump. I'm not sure why they didn't keep the other one there until a new one came in. At least it would be a little bit of a help in the meantime. But this has been going on since April with the new pump. I mean, the new pump issue. The other issue has been going on for years. But all I'm asking you is, please help. I can't live like this. So any help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that is it for the cards. I have a motion to close public portion. Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second. Second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor, opposed, public portion is closed, and we will move now to the agenda. The first item on the agenda being the meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency.
Motion to convene.
We have a motion to convene. I will second that. Quorum is present. Mr. Walzer.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the agency board. John Walzer, Executive Director, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip, New York. I have several items for your consideration today. The first item is to approve the minutes from our last agency board meeting on September 16th.
Any questions on the minutes? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor, opposed, the minutes are approved.
Thank you. The next item for your consideration is an inducement resolution between the agency and Modern Packaging LLC, located at 55 Paradise Lane in Bayshore. Modern Packaging designs, fabricates, and manufactures packaging solutions and equipment for a wide variety of end users. They will occupy 106,000 square feet of this 175,000 square foot industrial building. This project represents a $14 million capital investment and promises to bring 140 jobs to the town.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
Okay, the next item for your consideration is a preliminary inducement resolution between the agency and 405 Locust LLC, located at 405 Locust Avenue in Oakdale. This project involves the construction of 40 housing units on 5 acres of land in 11 buildings. 30% of the units in this development will be set aside for people with developmental disabilities.
Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
Thank you. The next item for your consideration is a resolution authorizing a tenant at 5150 Vets Highway in Bohemia.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? It's approved.
Thank you. The next item for your consideration, or the next two items, if you want to do them at the same time, are resolutions authorizing the assignment of the IDA agreements for New York Tent LLC to new owners of the property at 100 and 110 Wilbur Place in Bohemia.
Okay, we have motion on both 100 and 110. Are there any questions? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Both 6 and 7 are approved.
Thank you very much. And the last item I have for your consideration is a resolution to adopt the 2026 budget for the town of Islip IDA.
Are there any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. And since there is no other business to come before us, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? The agency stands adjourned. We move now to meeting of the Town of Islip Resource Recovery Agency. Commissioner Ballou.
Madam Chair, members of the agency board, I have several items for consideration today. The first being the approval of the minutes for the March 11th, 2025 agency board meeting.
Any questions on the minutes? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Next item is a resolution authorizing the president to enter into a contract with Cash and Associates PC for calendar years 2026, 27, and 28, with the option to extend the contract for 3 one-year extensions to provide professional engineering services related to groundwater and leachate monitoring, sampling, assessment, and reporting at the Blydenburg Road Landfill Cleanfill Phase 1 and 2.
Are there any questions? Motion by Councilman Guardone, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Next item is a resolution authorizing the president to execute extension year 2 of a 4-year extension of an existing contract with Clearflow Technologies, Inc. for disposal of leachate generated at agency landfills as an alternate disposal facility to those provided by the County of Suffolk.
Are there any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Next item is a resolution authorizing the president to enter into a contract extension between the agency and Pace Analytical Services, Inc. for calendar year 2026 for professional services related to laboratory and analytical services for groundwater and ash analysis for all Islip Resource Recovery Agency sites.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guardone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
The last item for consideration is a resolution authorizing the adoption of the recommended budget of the Islip Resource Recovery Agency for fiscal year 2026.
Are there any questions on the budget? I'll make that motion. Do we have a second? Second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Now, with the business to come before us, a motion to adjourn by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Guardone. Stand adjourned. Thank you very much, Commissioner Ballou. Next item, 3, authorization with the supervisor to amend a license agreement with TC Oysters for one parcel of town-owned bay bottom land for the purpose of shellfish cultivation in the Great South Bay. Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 4, Town Board authorization to clean up or secure certain properties in the town of Islip. Mr. Jeff, good to see you.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, you as well, and good afternoon, members of the Town Board and the Town Clerk, Jeffrey Panacci, Assistant Town Attorney, 655 Main Street in Islip. I do have 9 properties on for your consideration here today. Number 1 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 2 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 3 has also been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 4 must be withdrawn as the town has become aware that there has been a recent change in ownership at this location. However, of course, if the condition of the property does not improve in the near future, we will be presenting, another resolution for the board's consideration, but we'll be moving to withdraw that at this time. Number 5, to demolish the rear addition attached to the garage of the main dwelling and remove what remains of the above-ground pool on the premises, as well as resecure the entire structure located at 28 Lexington Avenue in Brentwood. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists a main dwelling that remains in a state of disrepair and neglect, in that the rear addition located on the southeast corner of the dwelling is partially collapsed. After inspection, this portion of the main dwelling has been determined to be in imminent danger of further collapse by our senior building inspector. In addition, there are remnants of an above-ground pool on the property, and the town's board-up work that was previously done pursuant to a resolution passed in December of 2024 has now been removed. This constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire safety and health hazard, and notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guardone, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 6 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 7, to board up and clean up the premises located at 901 Udall Road in West Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists an opening in the south-facing wall of the dwelling, allowing access to its interior, as well as overgrown vegetation and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire safety and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 8, to clean up the premises located at 1069 Islip Avenue in Central Islip. On this vacant property, there now exists overgrown vegetation growing through the cracks in the paved surfaces located throughout the property, as well as various items of litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and creates a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Number 9, to board up and clean up the premises located at 1332 Lombardi Boulevard in Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists an accessory structure on the northwest corner of the property with a door that is unattached, allowing access to its interior, as well as the presence of overgrown vegetation and litter and debris, including an unregistered silver-colored Hyundai Santa Fe and various items of rubbish scattered throughout the property, which constitutes a nuisance and creates a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman McGilway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Next are the bid awards, and I understand that one of them has been removed, which was item 3. Okay. Any questions? Motion on all of the bid awards with the exception of number 3? Do you have a motion? Motion by Councilman McGilway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 6 are the option year resolutions. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman McGilway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 7, authorization for supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to renew contract DPW 1-2023. It's a requirements contract and specifications for drainage construction with Laser Industries, Inc. for the final one-year extension period. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 8, authorization supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to renew contract DPW 3-2023, modernization of guide rail with United Fence and Guard Rail Corp. for the final one-year extension period. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 9, authorization for supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to renew contract DPW 5-2023, air conditioning preventative maintenance service contract with Best Climate Control Corp. for the final one-year extension. Any questions? Motion by Councilman McGilway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 10, town board approval for the 25-26 snow season vendor rates for the upcoming season, which will be snow-free. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman McGilway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 11, authorization for supervisor to accept funds from National Grid to compensate the Department of Public Works for the paving restoration of South Snedeker Avenue in Bayport. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman McGilway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 12, authorization supervisor to accept funds from National Grid to compensate the Department of Public Works for paving restoration of several roads in Bayport. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 13, authorization supervisor to accept funds from National Grid to compensate the Department of Public Works for the paving restoration of several roads in Oakdale. Any questions? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 14, authorization supervisor to execute a memorandum of understanding between the town and the Long Island Railroad to further the design, construction, and installation of the grade crossing protection and the application of federal funds to fund costs thereof. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone. Second by Councilman McGilway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 15, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to consider amending the Town of Islip Uniform Traffic Code. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item 16, authorization for supervisor to enter into an intermunicipal cooperation agreement with the town of Brookhaven to contribute funds to complete the ADA upgrades and resurfacing of Waverly Avenue. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo. Second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 17, authorization with the supervisor to execute an amendment to the professional services agreement with Lockwood, Kessler, and Bartlett, Inc., to include the additional construction inspection. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
I'm
I'm in favor.
Okay, well, any opposed? And it is approved. Item 18, authorization supervisor to execute a 5-year contract extension with William Laposa to provide professional golf services. Any questions? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 19, authorization supervisor to execute a professional services agreement with Nelson and Pope Engineering, Architecture, and Land Surveying, PLLC, for Phase 1 of the engineering services for the Casamento Pool Reconstruction Project, long overdue. Any questions? Hearing none. Motion by Councilman McElway. Second, Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 20, authorization supervisor to enter an agreement with Backflow Specialists, Inc. to perform RPZ testing on Suffolk County Water Authority's pipes located in all Town of Islip facilities. Questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 21, Town Board approval to adopt revisions to the town's administrative procedures manual to reflect the Town of Islip's current policy pertaining to the prohibition of wearing earbuds/headphones during working hours. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 22, authorization for supervisor to enter into a services agreement with Application Software, Inc., DBA Aciflex, for Town of Islip Health Flexible Spending Arrangements. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 23, special events. Again, lots happening around town. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman McElway. I'll second that. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. 24, authorization supervisor to execute a renewal contract with Deal Concrete Corp. for contract DBW 5-21, streetscapes/sidewalks. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item 25, authorization for supervisor to execute the second option year with Simbrant Aviation Services for contract DAT-2023-002, maintenance and repair of baggage belts at Long Island MacArthur Airport. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 26, authorization for supervisor to execute an agreement with the Central Islip Union Free School District to support the implementation of the My Brother's Keeper Fellows Program through the Youth Bureau. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guardone, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 27, Town Board approval to provide electronic real property tax administration services. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
By Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 28, authorization for town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to enter into a cable franchise renewal agreement with Cablevision Systems Corp. for a period of 5 years. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. 29 are the appropriation transfers. They've been reviewed. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 30 is authorization with town clerk to advertise for public hearing to consider adopting a local law that authorizes the Town of Islip budget officer to prepare and submit to the town board a balanced tentative budget. Any questions? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 31, Town Board approval to extend the deadline for senior citizens to pay their 25-26 real estate taxes on their principal residence without interest or penalty to on or before June 8th, 2026. Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 32, authorization for supervisor and the town board to enter into a one-year extension with Greater Data and Mailing for printing, assembling, and mailing tax bills, receipts, and notices for the Office of the Receiver of Taxes. Any questions? Motion? A motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 33, Town Board approval to deposit and secure all monies in J.P. Morgan Chase, TD Bank, Flagstar Bank, or New York class received by the Receiver of Taxes for the 2025-26 tax year in an interest-bearing account. Any questions? Motion? We have a motion. We have a second. Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 34, authorization for supervisor to execute an agreement with J.P. Morgan Chase N.A. for the payment of courier services provided by Garda World Security to the Receiver of Taxes for the 25-26 tax year. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 35, authorization for the supervisor to enter into a contract with Garda World Security to provide courier services for the deposit of public funds in the town's authorized depository banks. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 36 is meeting of the Town of Islip Economic Development Corporation. Mr. Walzer.
Motion to convene.
Motion to convene by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Guadrone. We are convened, a quorum being present. Mr. Walzer, you may begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Corporation Board. John Walzer, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip. I have two items for your consideration today. The first is to approve the minutes from our last Corporation Board meeting on January 28th of this year.
Any question on the minutes? Hearing none, motion. Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Okay, thank you. And the last item I have for your consideration is a resolution to adopt the 2026 budget for the Town of Islip Economic Development Corporation.
Any questions on the budget? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
That's all I have.
I have one item I would like to put forward, and that is to bring forward the contract for the white collar and blue collar for consideration. I want to begin by thanking everyone involved this has been going on for 18 months. Negotiations took place. All those, excuse me? I'm sorry. Oh, for economic development. No other business. That meeting is adjourned. Okay, thank you. Again, I just want to commend everyone who participated on the negotiating team. It was 18 months. Everybody negotiated in good faith. The union representatives, they're advocating for our very treasured and cherished employees. And I think at the end of the day, as with any negotiations, you win some, you lose some, and, there was give and take on both sides. But at the end of the day, the message was loud and clear. We really, really appreciate our employees and everything they do each and every day, and they make each and every one of us look good in what they do for this town and its residents. And that goes to every department, every position. It really doesn't matter. Everyone really, really seems to care, and it truly is a family in the town. So the negotiations took place. There was a briefing meeting for employees. The vote took place, and it was overwhelmingly supported. 90% of those voted overwhelmingly supported the contract. And that really is a testament to everybody that worked on it. And with that in mind, they kind of rushed the voting and everything so that they could get it here before us today. And I'm hoping that my colleagues on the town board would see fit to support approving it today. And I have copies. I know everyone has seen it, but if you could pass these down, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Any questions or comments?
What is the motion?
Yes, I will make that motion. Do I have a second?
What is the motion?
The motion is to consider the adoption of the white-collar and the blue-collar agreements. We'll do them separately.
Procedurally, isn't the motion to suspend the rules as the
Oh, thank you,
resolution
counsel.
did
I
not-
really
did
appreciate
not
that.
make
You're
it
you're
to the
right.
town board calendar
In
on time?
right. Thank you so much for correcting me. I truly appreciate that. So nice to have an attorney on the town board. So I will make a motion then to suspend the rules for the consideration of the resolutions before us for both the white-collar and the blue-collar contracts. Do I have a second? Oh, well, that's too bad. So then I will make a motion to table so that we can consider it at our next town board meeting. And please, I would convey to our employees, this is not an indicator of anyone's lack of support for our employees, but rather a procedural decision.
Thank you for adding that. I'll second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? And a
I'd like
motion to
to,
adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for the town board meetings. There were allegations that ICE agents entered the Sisters of St. Joseph campus in Brentwood, and this motion is, all well known to you, so I just want to make the motion to waive the rules for the town board meetings to reintroduce the resolution that suspends the use of the town of Islip rifle range by ICE officers until the town board determines that the community concerns with respect to the conduct of ICE officers have been adequately addressed.
So there is a motion. Is there a second to suspend the rules and consider this resolution? Okay, before I say that it fails for the lack of a second, I just would like to tell you, Councilman, I received your email this morning, and I called the head of the Sisters of St. Joseph because the allegations were that there were ICE agents on the campus of the Sisters of St. Joseph, and I was assured by both Sister Tessa and Sister Karen Burke that that was not the case. There were no activity at all, so that should make you feel a little bit more comfortable. With that,
Motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? We stand adjourned.
Hmm? 29, it was obviously
And they
approved
were
unanimously.
emailing me, as you, all from
And
General.
29, hold on.